comedy is the hardest, emotions are the easiest. In films, I say, short films are the hardest, feature films are the easiest.
Hey guys, welcome to my vlog. තවත් ඉවෙන්ට් එකක් ඉවර කරලා මේ දැන් කියන්නේ ටෙඩි දෙවෙනි ඇඩ්වාන්ස් ස්ක්‍රීනින් එකට. ඉතින් යා දැන් යන ගමන් ඉන්නේ දැන් වෙලාව 6යි sorry 6යි 6යි ඉතින් 6යි කාටි ඉවෙන්ට් එකේ තියෙන අවුලක් නැහැ. පුළුවන් වෙලාවට යන්න. තමයි වල කලින් බ්ලොග් එකේ බලන්න නැත්නම් බලන්න ඒකේ දැම්මා මම අද කරේ කියලා දැන් යන්නේ ඊළඟ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට. ඉතින් බලමු දෙවෙනි පාර.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for dragging your butts out on a Sunday evening and coming to watch this movie when you could have been at home and watching Netflix or something, but instead you guys are here to watch a 15-minute short film, and that means the world to us. So on behalf of myself, the Junkyard Theory team and the High School Junkies, thanks so much for being here. A little bit about this movie and also about this whole event in general. So we had an advanced screening for Teddy a couple weeks ago in Negombo, and we wanted to have it in Negombo because that's where we are from, the High School Junkies. I'm Akash Sunit Kumara. I am the director and the writer of this particular film, and also the founder of the High School Junkies. And the Junkies are dispersed all over this place, and the Junkyard Theory team, like you saw on the videos earlier, that is the education arm which is actually handling this entire event. So when we did this advanced screening in Negombo, there was so many requests from people in Colombo asking whether we were going to have an event for the folks over here. So this is the entire reason why we got quite a few requests, and we always wanted to do something in Colombo because we have big plans for Teddy in general, and this movie was entirely, born out of, I guess, uni. How long ago was it?
I think last year, September.
Yeah, so mid last year, she wanted to do this movie about, in a way, female empowerment and delivering a message about what it is like to be a woman in a marriage in Sri Lanka. And when she came to us, of course, we wanted to put our own little spin on it. And for those of you who are familiar with High School Junkies productions, you've seen what we do. We do action, we do thriller, we do sci-fi, and a bit of horror. But you're not going to see any of that, unfortunately. So no Yureni fighting ghosts or demons or any of that stuff, unfortunately. As much as I would love to do something like that with her down the line. It's more of a heartfelt story about a woman who goes through some trauma. But I'm not going to say much. I'll let the film speak for itself. And also, Yureni has a few words. So our star, Yureni Noshika, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Akash. So yes, finally, thank you first and foremost. Thank you so much for all of you for being here. It's a rainy day. I know. Even I was feeling a bit lazy the whole day. I was in bed. Didn't feel like dragging myself out of the bed. But here we are. So thank you so much once again for taking the time to come and watch a 15-minute short film. And So talking a bit about Teddy, I wanted to do something unique, something. I've always felt that I have not been able to really capitalize on my talent fully. Being in the industry for 15 years, I still haven't been able to kind of play the roles that I always wanted to play. So then, when I wanted to do a short film based on women empowerment and something for women, and then couldn't think of a better team than High School Junkies, because I've seen their work and I'm a huge fan of their work. And I've always seen them like, a group of young guys who always wanted to set standards, set different standards in the industry, and who always wanted to do something different, unique. And so I approached Akash and I said, I want to do something like that. I know it's different genre, it's not your cup of tea, but are you up for it? And he said, why not? And so I said, but I wanted to get it done soon. You know, when I'm a person, I'm very impatient. When I wanted to do something, I wanted to just, you know, get
You gave us deadlines that we couldn't stick to, and I had to convince you.
I said, I need the script written in 3 weeks, and we're going to do it in a month. Because if it keeps dragging, you know, things don't happen. And he said, okay, fine, let me see if I can get the script done in 3 weeks. So the first draft, he sent it to me, and then I was very happy with the draft because I only look at it in an actor's perspective. So it was good. It had all the entire emotional graph I wanted. So I said, Akash, we're good to go. I'm happy with the script. He's like, Yureni, no, this is just a draft. This will, like, you know, we will work on this. I said, okay. So it's basically what you're going to watch. The final is actually the 6th or the 7th draft of the Teddy script. And I must tell, it's the first time I have ever worked with a professional team in Sri Lanka. You feel so good to be on a set with a professional team who respects someone else's time, who perfectly plans, you know, and the entire team it's a 24-hour shoot. And the peak scenes we shot from 2 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock. I only had 4 hours. We had no choice but to finish it in 4 hours, all those peak scenes that we shot.
How much of that do you remember?
Huh?
How much of that do you remember?
So I don't know how I did it, but we did it. But obviously the team was so supportive throughout. Everyone was just giving their 100%, and they worked tirelessly on the set for 24 hours. It was raining. So as an actor, it's not easy when you're mentally shut down, because I'm a person, I go to sleep early. And for me to stretch after 12 o'clock is like midnight, is like torture. And sometimes my system shut down. And when my system shut down, however much I push, I can't, you know. So I remember we had this conversation, Akash and I, 2 o'clock in the morning, 1:30, we finished all the scenes at 1. And he said, we're going to do shoot the peak scenes, the most important scenes, the intense scenes of the movie, and this is where it all, you know, takes to the next level. And I said, Akash, I can't, because my body has given up. I can't do this. And he was like, Yureni, you've got to. It's your movie, it's your baby, it's your project. And then I remember, I said, give me half an hour. Let me just do something. And I just connected with the universe. I asked all the blessings. I prayed. I did all that, and I said, give me the strength to do this, because I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I think some magic happened, and
I made you walk on rocks.
Yes, I walked on rocks, so that, you know, yeah, I did that for about 15 minutes, walking on rocks. So yeah, here we are, and we all of us, it is like our baby. It's not just mine, just because I initiated it. High school, Akash, it's his baby, all of us, Teddy, and we've received such a good response for the first screening, and they all loved it. And it's so good to see people have embraced the movie, because when you have put your heart and soul out into a movie, and it's not easy, even if it's a short film, it's not easy. So I really hope that you will enjoy the movie, and you will give us your honest feedback, sincere feedback, and we will have a Q&A. You can shoot all your questions to Akash, not me. He's the script writer, so don't ask anything.
I'm gonna divert what I can over to you, because you did the same thing last time. You're not escaping it this time.
So please enjoy the movie, and we will see you again at the Q&A. And please give your honest feedback. I really hope that you all will enjoy, and you will see the nitty-gritties of the symbolisms we've used in the movie. And yeah.
Also, this film will be screened later on.
Yes, we will have a special premiere for this. I'm organizing a short film festival, so it's called Dreammakers Short Film Festival, and we will be premiering Teddy at the Short Film Festival, Dreammakers Short Film Festival. So you're most welcome to come on that day. We will be showing 5 movies, 5 shortlisted short films, including Teddy as well. So you're most welcome to come there. You can If you go through our social media handles, we'll be posting on, giving an update on that. So, all right, let's start.
About this movie, like I said earlier as well, we started this project of last August. Technically, that was when Yureni approached us, and from then the whole project kind of snowballed a little bit and ended up into what it is. The initial storyline had a very different ending, and after quite a few discussions with the story team and people related to the subject matter, we decided to have a more positive outcome, for the character of Vihara. But before we get into all of that stuff, I want to hand the mic over to Yureni. Yureni, I think people would love to know what this character of Vihara meant to you, and from what kind of a place did you approach this particular role?
Okay, this was my first time playing a dark character. When I read the script, I thought it was easy. That was my first impression. And when Akash said it right, we had a different ending initially than the initial script. And then later on, we decided we want to have a different ending, to end on a positive note. Breathing life to Vihara was difficult, very difficult, because I'm not a method actor. I have never learned acting in my whole life. I never, in my wildest dreams, imagined that I'll become an actor, So I believe we are all destined to become someone, and I guess here I am today, fulfilling my purpose as an actor. And sometimes you go through phases in life as a kid, as a teenager, and in your youth, you go through so many experiences. You wonder, I'm sure even you have asked, why? You have popped that question, why me? Why do I have to go through so much? It's not fair. But later on in life, when you look back, you realize that there was always a purpose, that why you had to go through what you had to go through in life. So coming back to giving life to Vihara, I feel all those experiences as a kid, as a teenager, as a youngster, in her 20s, that helped me give life to Vihara. It was actually that day I realized, I told Akash, it took me about a couple of days to come out of this character. It wasn't easy for me we shot the movie for 24 hours. It took me about a couple of days to actually come out of it. And in those days I realized what my purpose in life was. It made me realize that why, if I have been successful as an actor, even a bit, that it's all because I've never done method acting. I've never been to a school. I've never studied acting or anything. These are just emotions. Vihara is all about emotions. And these are, you meet thousands of Viharas when you step out. And if I'm to pull this character, I knew I should be able to speak to people's hearts, especially women, to let them know that they're not alone and they always have a choice. At the end of the movie, if one person feels that I'm going to stand up for my life, I'm going to stand up and make the choice to live the life the way I want to live, and that's my accomplishment. We all have a choice. It's sometimes we try to please the society, please our parents, most of our lives we end up living the way others want us to live. But we never make that choice. Am I happy? Am I doing the right thing? Is it worth sacrificing so much? So Vihara made me think all of that, you know. And I really felt the pain of what half of the women in this country is going through. Sometimes we, living a single life, we take it for granted. I may have taken for granted. But this character really inspired me to become a voice to so many voiceless, I believe. And once it gets released online, I really hope that it will inspire so many women out there just to, in Sinhala if I say, manusek vela ipadinna, manusatmayak labanna, අපි ගොඩාක් පින් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ මනුස්සාත්ම තිරිසනෙක් වගේ මැරිලා ගියොත් ඒක ඇවිල්ලා ඒක මාර දුකක්. ජීවිතේ තියෙන්නේ අපිට choice එකක් තියෙනවා, විඳවන්න පුළුවන්, විඳින්න පුළුවන්. මේ විහාර වගේ කට්ටියට අනිවාර්යෙන් choice එකක් තියෙනවා. අපි අද ඉන්නේ ගොඩාක් වෙනස් වෙච්ච ලෝකෙක. අපි හිතින් විඳින්න, හිතින් තව මිනිස්සුන්ව සතුටු කරන්න, දෙමාපියන්ව සතුටු කරන්න ජීවත් වෙනවට වඩා මගේ ජීවිතේ මම කොහොමද පුළුවන් විදියට සුන්දර කරගන්නේ? මගේ ජීවිතේ මට කොහොමද මට ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් විදියට තව මිනිස්සෙක්ට හයියක් වෙලා මට කොහොමද ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියන තැනට පුළුවන්. ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන් අද අපි ජීවත් වෙන සමාජයේ. ඒක තමන් විතරක් නෙමෙයි, තනි වෙලා ඉන්නේ මේක. ඒ වගේ 100,000 විහාරලා ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් මේ පණිවිඩය තමයි ගෙනියන්න ඕනේ. So yeah. It was difficult, but it was beautiful. It was a wonderful experience. Thank you, High School Junkies, for a wonderful script. Like a script එකක් නැතුව අපිට ලංකාවේ scripts මේ වගේ ලියවෙන්නේ නැහැ. I think for writing a script that I could really inspire women in this country, and so yeah, it was a beautiful experience, even though it was traumatizing. But it was a wonderful experience, and I learned a lot. And it was a challenge that I took, and I believe that I was able to do the best to Vihara, I guess. Thank you, Akash.
I'm also a big fan of Yureni. I've got a chance to work with Yureni a couple of times. So I did know when you asked the question, I have seen her like this. She's an incredible talent, very often misunderstood, very often misrepresented, but you guys have managed to get to another depth of her, and that's pretty amazing. But I want to say a couple of things because I've been shooting now, this is my 24th year shooting stuff and working from being a kid in a creative department. I make commercials as a day job to now mentoring young people. A few things I would like to say. You guys spoke a lot about we do action, we do this kind of thing, but guys, don't ever stop there. You haven't clearly, but don't even say it, because if that was the case, how could Todd Phillips go from Road Trip and Hangover to make Joker? It wouldn't happen, right? So you all clearly have immense depths of talent, and you all also clearly have a really good work ethic, which is really important. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have a work ethic, that's not going to get you anywhere, right? So you guys clearly have both, and it shows in your work. I would also like to say one thing about the film, because I found it's a bit weird to say I really enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it as a piece of film, which is a big compliment that I can give you, because the intensity of it, I felt it. But I would like to think that I can imagine the mental tussle that you guys had, and how do we end in a positive note, or do we? You were probably attracted as filmmakers, serious filmmakers, to maybe have a different ending, right? But I personally feel you made the right choice, because Yureni spoke very passionately about the entire point of this is not to make a piece of film to make you guys look good or feel good. The point is ultimately for it to go out there, if it's on YouTube, for some young woman or who unfortunately might be in this situation, as your statistics you show at the end, it is a real thing. And if it can give that person hope, and if it can make her choose herself, I think you took the right call. So I wanted to say, don't worry about it. I think you took the right call, and wonderfully well done. I enjoyed myself. I started to clap because I felt you all deserved it. It was a bit odd, yes, but you thoroughly deserved it. Well done, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dilshara.
මගේ පැත්තේ මම කියන්නම් production wise well done production එක කරන්න ලේසි. දැන් මට ඔයගොල්ලෝ මෙන්ටර් කරනවා උගන්වනවා ඒ වුණාට experience wise බැලුවොත් short films ගණනාවක් කරලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි මේ තත්ත්වයකට එන්න මමත් මල්ලිලාගේ fan කෙනෙක් මම මල්ලිලාගේ බලලා තියෙනවා. ඒනට ඒ numbers විදිහට බලද්දී ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගොඩාක් ඉස්සරහින් ඉන්නවා. ඒක ලොකු දෙයක්. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කියමු short film 1000ක් කරපු එක්කෙනෙක් එක short film 10ක් කරපු එක්කෙනෙක් එක්ක තියෙන experience එක තමයි අපේ ජීවිතේ ඉස්සරහට ගෙනියන්නේ. ඔයා කිව්වා හරියටම හරි. හැම එකක්ම තාමත් දැන් අවුරුදු 20ක් මම මේ ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රි එකේ ඉන්නවා මම තාම ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. මට ඊයේ පෙරේදා හරි ලස්සන experience එකක් ආව මම විනාඩියෙන් කියන්න. බොහෝ දුරට මේ අවුරුදු 20ට නොකරපු දෙයක් නැති තරම්. හැබැයි මට ඒජන්සි එකෙන් කතා කරලා ඇහුවා ඒක මම ජීවිතේට කරලා නැහැ. මම කිව්වා වව් අවුරුදු 20කට පස්සේ මට අලුත්ම එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකක් කරන්න මට රිසර්ච් කරන්න වෙනවා. ඒ අපි ඔක්කොම ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. ඒක හරියටම හරි. හැබැයි ඕගොල්ලෝ ඒ ටික කාලෙන් සෑහෙන දුරක් ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඒක well done. Production qualities wise, production එකේ technical wise සහ විශේෂණ දෙයක් කියන්න ඕනේ. Within 24 hours මේ වගේ එකක් කරන්න it's not easy. ඒක great challenge එකක්. and ඒක ෆිල්ම් එකේ පේන්නේ නැහැ. ෆිල්ම් එකේ rush එකක් පේන්නේ නැහැ. ෆිල්ම් එකේ perfection එක පේන්නේ තියෙනවා. So I like to congratulate you all. Good job. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, to be very honest, till 5:17, I was rolling around in bed thinking, Yureni Noshika ඕන වේද මගේ ජීවිතේ මම ආයෙත් හම්බ වෙනවා නම් කමක් නැහැ. 5:20 I rolled out of bed. By 5:40 I think I called Deshan and said, have they started? He said, no, we are already seated here on time. But anyway, I made it. I'm so happy I did, because when I watched the trailer, I think you spoke about it first time on a media platform, was on the show with me, and I was so happy that she got a chance to portray Teddy. You know, they always say in acting, comedy is the hardest, emotions are the easiest. In films, I say, short films are the hardest, feature films are the easiest. Because you have such a long time to tell your story. And when it comes to a short film, you have to leave the person curious, you have to leave the person involved, and at the same time, you have to leave the person thinking, oh wow, I watched something. Not in like, what in the world I spent my 15 minutes on. So it's remarkable to do a short film and leave such an impact in such a short time. I normally focus on things which are like, I don't know, I have this problem when I watch a film or something, I always focus on things which are out. Like, I wanted to see where the lighting is coming from. I wanted to see whether there's a reflection on the mirror. I wanted to see whether her hand got cut and is there blood on her hand. These are things I like to see because that is how my brain works. I believe in this continuation problem. But the point that I loved the most was when Yureni pulls that tissue out, which is a shot that connects her speaking to the teddy and from her emotions of what her life is going through. At that time when she wipes with that tissue, that is, I think, that scene alone, I think, is enough for us to leave a dent in what we felt. So I think that particular scene will be very close to my heart always. So well done to the team, and I think we need to have youngsters like this. So round of applause for all of them. Not Yureni, but youngsters.
හරි දැන් කඩපැද්දේ ඉන්නේ AC බස් එකක් හම්බුණා ප්‍රයෝගයකදී ඉතින් ගත්තා ඒක ආවා කොළුවේ තියාගෙන ආයේ පට්ටට ඔළුව රෙදිනවා ඉවෙන්ට් එක වෙලාවේදී මම කියන්නේ ටෙඩි ඉවෙන්ට් එක ඉවරලා ෆොටෝ ෂූට් ඒ කියන්නේ ෆොටෝ බූත් එක තිබ්බත් බෑක් ඩ්‍රොප් එක ගාව එතන ඔළුව එකක් වක්කාක පාට අනිවාර්යයෙන් දන්නේ ඕකේ ඒක අමතක කළා නේද කොහරි අද දවසේ සෑහෙන හොඳයි මේක ඉතින් ටෙඩි බ්ලොග් එකේ නිසා ටෙඩි ෂෝට් මූවි එක දැන් ඇත්තටම දෙවෙනි පාර්ට් බලුවෙන් පස්සේ සෑහෙන වෙනසක් දැක්කම ඒ කියන්නේ කලින්ට වඩා ෆීල් වුණා සෑහෙන්න අර ඒක තිබ්බ හිඩන් ඩීටේල්ස් උනත් පස්සේ ඒක දෙවෙනි පාර්ට් බලද්දි තවත් තේරුණා. ඒ කියන්නේ තව දේවල් තියෙනවා. මේකට ගොඩක් කන්වර්සේෂන්ස් කරලා නැහැ මොකද ස්පොයිල් වෙන්න නිසා. මම ඒක පළවෙනි ඇඩ්වාන්ස් ස්ක්‍රීන් එකේදී කිව්වා මම ඔයාලට. ඔයාලා බැලුවේ නැත්නම් බලන්න. ඒක නිගම් බෝල තිබ්බේ ඇඩ්වාන්ස් ස්ක්‍රීනින් එක ෆස්ට් එක. මේ සෙකන්ඩ් එක කොළඹ තිබ්බේ. මේ දෙයි ෂූට් කළා. ඒක තවත් දේවල් තියෙන. ඒකට තුන්වෙනි පාටත් බලන්න වෙනවා. තවත් දේවල් තියෙන. ඒක මම මිස් වෙච්ච දේවල් තියෙනවා කියලා මට තේරුණා. තවත් ඒ කන්වර්සේෂන් අතරතුරදී. ඉතින් ඒක තමයි ෂෝට් ෆිල්ම් වල තියෙන වෙනස. ෂෝට් ෆිල්ම් වල තියෙන වෙනස අන්න ඒකයි. ඒවයි අර පැය දෙකක් ඇතුළත පෙන්වන දේවල් අපේ දෙකක් අපි බැලුවොත් නේ අපිට ඒක සම්පූර්ණ දේ හරියට තේරෙන්නේ හරිය නැත්නම් එහෙම අනුමානයක් හරි කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ එහෙමනේ. ෂෝට් ෆිල්ම් එක විනාඩි 10යි 15යි සමහර විනාඩි 3යි එන අඩු මට්ටමක් ඇතුළත ලොකු දෙයක් පෙන්වන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් අර ගොඩක් හිඩන් ඩීටේල්ස් සීරස් ඇයින් ඒකයි ඉතින් හයි ස්කූල් ජන්කීස් එතන ඉන්නේ. ඒ වගේම ඉතින් අපි පළවෙනි එකේදී කිව්වා. ඒ වගේ මේකෙදිත් කියන කොහොමත් එයාලා අනිවාර්යෙන් හොඳ ලොකු තැනකට එනවා. අවුරුදු 5-10ක් ඇද්දි බලන්නකො. එතකොට මමත් අනිවාර්ය බ්ලොග් එකක් කරයි. එයාලගේ ලොකු තැනකට ගියේ ආයෙත් පස්සේ අනිවාර්යෙන් මම එයාලත් එක්ක මේ වගේ බ්ලොග් එකක් කරයි. එයාලත් එක්ක කතා කරයි. එයාලගේ වොයිස් කට් ගනි. වෙනම බ්ලොග් එකක් බලන්න. අනිවාර්යෙන් ඒක අපිට දකින්න පුළුවන් වෙයි. ඉතින් ඒ වගේම තව ඉන්නවා. තව ෂෝට් ෆිල්ම්ස් හදන තව ගොඩාක් අය ඉන්න. ඒ වගේම ෆිල්ම්ස් උනත් හදන ගොඩක් අර වෙනසක් කරන්න try කර කට්ටිය ඉන්න. දැන් එකක් කිව්වොත් ඒ යාළුවෝ යාළුවෝ. ඒක වෙනසක් ගෙන්නන්න try කරපු දෙයක් ටිකක් අමාරු ඒක. අහිනත් එක්ක නමාරුවට try කරන කට්ටියන් ඉතින් එයාට අනිවාර්යෙන් support කරන්න ඕනේ. තව සතුටුදායක දෙයක් තියෙනවා. තව යාළුවෝද නැගලා යන PVR එකේදී PVR එකේ වචර පැටලෙනවා. PVR එකේදී ඉතින් සෑහෙන සතුටුයි. ට්‍රෙන්ඩ් එක නැගලා යනවා. තවත් හොඳ නිවුස් එයි බලමු. ඉතින් හරි ඒක තමයි දවස් ඇතුළත උන්නේ. දේවල් වලින් කිව්වොත් එහෙම ඔයාලා පළවෙනි වලෝගේ බැලුවේ නැත්නම් බලන්න. ඒ වගේම අද දවස් ඇතුළත දාපු පළවෙනි වලෝගේ බැලුවේ නැත්නම් ඒක බලන්න. ඒකේ top models by Trikla Dharni ගේ කිල්ලාභිෂේක මංගල්‍ය කියන අවුරුදු කුමාරියන්ගේ උත්සවයේ තිබ්බේ. ඒකේ මට ෆුල් ඔක්කොම දාන්න බැරි වුණා. මොකද මට මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එක කම්ප්ලීට් කරන්න ඕන නිසා. මොකද මම ඉතින් හැවතන මට ඉතින් ඔක්කොම කවර් කරන්න ඕනේ නිසා මට ඒක බෑ ඒක. එහෙම එකකටම මට සීමා වෙන්න අමාරු වෙනවා. මට හැමතැනම ඉන්න ආසයි. ඉතින් හැම එකකට සහභාගී වෙන්න ආසයි. ඉතින් ඒකයි. මට ගොඩක් සිදිනකොට ලයික් කරන්න ඕනේ, ෂෙයා කරන්න ඕනේ, සබ්ස්ක්‍රයිබ් කරන්න මගේ channel එක. ඉතින් අපි ඊළඟ vlog එකේ හමු. බයි.